Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 4.
It's an incredible start.
Hmm.
Let's really unpack this opening poem. It paints such a vivid picture of decay, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
We hear, so, loyal advice from Shangrong, ignored. But the treacherous words from Feizong, that's what gets listened to.
Exactly. And it's not just ignoring good advice, is it? It feels like an act of preference for the bad advice, for the deceit.
Yeah, like the king wants to hear from Feizong.
Precisely. It's not just political dysfunction we're seeing here. It's a sharp critique of leadership that's actively chosen flattery, personal gratification over the actual well-being of the kingdom.
It highlights a real vulnerability, how a ruler's own desires can be twisted, exploited.
Right, to the point where good governance is just systematically taken apart from the inside.
And the imagery, it just gets more chilling. See, it says, seduced by fox friends in music.
While the government is run by jackals and tigers.
Who are driving away the phoenixes, the wise, the virtuous officials. It's like everything's upside down.
It is. It's like this deliberate reversal of the natural order. The corrupts aren't just tolerated, they're actively invited in, promoted even.
So when a leader keeps choosing the jackals and tigers...
The phoenixes, the wise and honorable folks, they don't just leave quietly. The text says they are driven away.
Which creates this feedback loop.
Exactly. A self-reinforcing cycle where good advice is purged, dissent is crushed, and the nation is left completely vulnerable to its own corruption.
And the final cost laid out in the poem is just so stark. We're aiming to ruin the whole country for base desires.
And what's the payoff? A pinch of fragrance. Something fleeting, basically worthless.
That phrase really sticks with you, doesn't it? A pinch of fragrance.
Yeah.
For a whole kingdom.
It does. It just highlights the incredible short-sightedness, the futility of that kind of self-serving rule. So this opening poem, it's not just scene setting, it's like the moral compass for the whole chapter.
Showing how personal failings can ripple outwards.
And affect an entire kingdom. It perfectly sets the stage for all the difficult choices and drama to come.
Okay, so against this backdrop of, well, total decay, we get Suhu's rebellion against the king.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, the response is purely military. General Chonghuhu leads the charge, a classic show of force.
Right, the standard approach.
But then the story pivots. Suddenly, diplomacy enters the picture. San Yisheng shows up in Shiki as this crucial messenger.
And this is where Chang Haihu, the younger brother of the general Chonghuhu, steps in, but in a really unexpected role.
Yeah, he's not leading troops.
No, he's delivered this strategic offer from the Western Marquis, Ji Cheng, who's clearly a major player. And now Heihu is acting as the mediator to Suhu.
Which is fascinating, right? It suggests maybe brute force isn't the only answer here, or maybe not the best one.
Definitely. And the deal itself is pretty stunning.
It really is. Suhu has to send his daughter to the capital, basically as a hostage, a gesture of submission.
And in return, his son, Su Quanzan, who's been captured, gets released.
Plus, the Chang brothers will help smooth things over with the king, arrange a formal apology, all this after a rebellion and a military siege.
It makes you wonder about the power dynamics, doesn't it? What leverage did Ji Cheng really have?
Or what bigger political game is being played behind the scenes?
It's a deeply pragmatic solution, even if it feels, well, brutal. It shows this complex web of power and very personal stakes.
And Suhu's reaction, his internal struggle, it's so clear. The text quotes him.
Suhu's reaction, his internal stutter, and bring about my own destruction. I will prepare immediately.
Wow. That's just gut-wrenching for a father. Is it pure necessity, do you think, or is there a kind of cold calculation there, too?
Probably both, right? He's choosing to sacrifice his daughter, yes, for his family's survival, but also for the peace of his domain, perhaps his own position.
It really throws into relief the kind of unbearable choices leaders sometimes face. Survival versus, well, everything else.
And his plea for his son adds another layer. Brother, please release him quickly to ease my old wife's longing. It shows he's still a father, even in the middle of all this political maneuvering. It's a powerful moment. It shows the brutal math of power. For a leader facing annihilation, it's not just personal sacrifice. It's a cold, strategic move.
Yeah.
And it forces us to ask, who pays the price for peace? And what level of sacrifice is considered acceptable when you're talking about governance?
So, okay, the diplomatic path is set. Chang Heihu goes back to his elder brother, Chonghuhu's camp.
Right.
And he's been absolutely stewing, hasn't he? He was annoyed at Ji Chang for just sitting back and watching.
Yeah, holding back his troops. Who felt undermined?
And he was worried about Hehu being captured. So he's probably expecting some kind of validation now. He wants to hear that Suhu is going to trawl back and apologize to Deary.
He's looking for a win that justifies his military campaign, which, let's face it, wasn't going great.
You can almost feel his frustration simmering. He wants results.
He's expecting a military debrief, maybe? But Hehu's return, it delivers a completely different kind of message. A moral reckoning aimed straight at his brother.
And this is where it gets incredibly personal, incredibly dramatic. Hehu doesn't just file a report, he explodes. The text says he loudly shouted. You could almost hear the fury just erupting from him.
It's not just disagreement, it's a full-blown moral condemnation.
Yeah, this is really the heart of it, isn't it? This raw, visceral clash of values. And it's between brothers.
Which makes it so much more powerful, challenging that core bond of family loyalty, especially in that time and culture.
Hehu uses this incredibly potent analogy.
Let
the Joshupo or the Pokopa from our older brother. We come from the same root, but fruits from one tree. Some are sour, some are sweet. Children of one mother. Some are foolish, some are wise.
Oof. That's not just a comparison.
No, it's devastating. It's a public act of, moral disavowal. In a society where family lineage is everything, Hehu is basically saying, we might share blood, but morally, we are worlds apart.
He's drawing a line in the sand, declaring his brother a disgrace to their ancestors, to their root. It's a shocking challenge to the whole structure of hierarchy and kinship.
Wow. What a family reunion. And Hehu just keeps going, doesn't he? He hits Huhu with the military failures, losing soldiers.
And then the real gut punch. They don't do good things for the court. You specifically entice the emperor towards treacherous officials.
Huititu. So everyone in the world resents you.
Which brings us right back to that opening poem. It's all connected.
It absolutely is. Hehu isn't just talking about military incompetence now. He's accusing his brother of being complicit in the kingdom's moral decay.
Laying the blame right at his feet for creating the environment where those treacherous officials thrive.
Exactly. He's saying true loyalty isn't blind obedience. It's confronting corruption, even if it's in your own family. It's a really powerful statement.
And then the rhetorical knife twist, contrasting Huhu's stalled military campaign with the success of a single letter.
Yeah, basically saying, your army failed, but a piece of paper worked. He calls Huhu a shame and a disgrace to the Chung family, using that huge weight of family honor against him.
It really forces you to think about integrity versus ambition, doesn't it? Hehu's speech isn't just anger, it's this profound statement about honorable service.
How far do you go for your principles?
Even if it means shattering family ties, bonds that are usually considered unbreakable. For Hehu, it seems like justice and loyalty to the state, the right way of doing things, outweighs even that.
And the final line seals it.
Meldebra.
From today I part with you, I, Hehu, will never see you again.
Just, wow, a complete final break. The moral gap is just too wide for him.
It's a definitive public act. He refuses to be associated with his brother's failures and perceived corruption in that society. That's a huge deal, a major political statement about his own standing.
It says everything about how much he values his own integrity.
Absolutely.
And the fallout is immediate. Hehu, still furious, just takes charge, orders Su Quanzong released right away. And Quanzong is understandably grateful. Uncle, heavenly grace, granted this nephew a second life.
Hehu tells him, go tell your father to get moving to court, basically sealing the deal he brokered. And then he just leaves, gets on his Jun, his golden-eyed beast, takes his 3,000 men, and heads back to Kezu.
Doesn't stick around, doesn't try to patch things up.
Just leaves Huhu there, presumably humiliated.
His mission, the diplomatic one, the one for the state, is done. But the break with his brother, that's absolute, final, and very public.
With Suhu, he's in this impossible situation, isn't he?
Completely impossible.
He's being forced, basically compelled, to send Daji to King Zhu, the tyrant, as a concubine.
Yeah, and it's not his choice at all. It was advice from Jibo, actually, who framed it as the only way to avoid a calamity of extermination for his whole family.
Wow. Extermination, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Exactly. And you have to understand the weight of here, that loyalty between ruler and subject. It's not just, a suggestion.
It's a code.
It's a deeply, deeply ingrained code, almost sacred. It essentially meant, look, if the ruler tells you to die, you don't refuse.
So refusal wasn't really an option.
Not if he wanted his family to survive. It would mean total annihilation. So it's this sense of duty, this ethical bind that forces him, even though he feels immense shame and reluctance.
It's not just about saving his skin then, it's about this core principle he feels bound by.
Precisely. It's a moral obligation, overriding personal feelings, overriding even parental love in a way.
Do we see this concept play out so harshly elsewhere in the novel? Or is Suhu's case unique in its personal cost?
Oh, it underpins a lot of the political drama, definitely.
Yeah.
But Suhu's situation is especially poignant, I think, because it's his own child.
Yeah.
It forces this unimaginable sacrifice. It really throws the ruthlessness of that imperial power and the demands of loyalty into sharp relief.
And the farewell scene, it's just as heartbreaking as you'd expect.
Oh, absolutely.
Daji is described as delicate and gentle, and she's weeping. Tears like rain, saying goodbye to her mother, Lady Yang, her brother, Su Quanzong.
Yeah, the imagery is so powerful, like peonies in mist or rain-kissed pear blossoms.
It paints such a picture of fragile beauty, just lost in sorrow.
Mm-hmm. And adding to that sorrow are the parents' fears. Suhu and Lady Yang, they worry.
About what specifically?
They worry that Daji, being so gentle, won't grasp the tricky etiquette of the court, that she might accidentally cause trouble.
Ah, so they're worried about practical things, social blunders.
Exactly. Which seems totally reasonable at the time. But looking back, it's tragically ironic, isn't it? It foreshadows the real trouble, but in a way they could never, ever guess.
Hits hard in hindsight, yeah. Okay, so the journey begins, and it's massive. Suhu has 3,000 soldiers, 500 family guards.
Huge procession.
They travel relentlessly. Hungry eating, thirsty drinking.
Ah.
Through green willow ancient paths, red apricot orchards.
So text really emphasizes the length and hardship. Crying crows announcing spring. Cuckoos calling to the moon. It builds this mood, doesn't it? Long, weary, heading towards something ominous.
Definitely. It's not just travelogue. It underscores the effort, the drawn-out sorrow, and the kind of inevitability of it all. Every step is bringing them closer to that fateful end. It feels like fate marching on. So after days, they finally reach the Enzu Inn at dusk. You can imagine the relief, right? Finally, shelter.
Oh, yeah. A welcome sight after all that travel.
But as you often find in these stories, an inn isn't always just an inn.
No, exactly. Inns in these old narratives are often charged places. Thresholds.
Thresholds. How so?
Well, they're where ordinary travelers are vulnerable, away from home, and where the mundane world can suddenly intersect with the supernatural. Destinies get changed in inns.
And right on cue, the innkeeper gives them this urgent warning.
Yep. He says, look, for 3 years now, a demon, a spirit has been haunting this place. Everyone avoids it.
He even suggests Daji should maybe camp outside.
He does. Respectfully, of course. Just to be safe, it's a clear warning.
But Suhu, he's not having it.
No, he gets angry, actually. Bride kicks in. He declares that, the emperor's noble person, meaning Daji, fears no evil spirits.
He insists they stay inside, demands it be cleaned.
It's that loyalty again, isn't it? And maybe a bit of arrogance. His duty makes him feel invulnerable, perhaps. But it effectively ignores the local knowledge, the immediate danger. He walks right into it.
So they set up inside. Daji's in the inner hall with 50 maids. Soldiers are guarding everywhere. But Suhu, despite his brave words, he's still uneasy.
You can tell. He's outwardly defiant, we fear nothing. But inwardly, she's cautious. The text mentions he keeps his leopard tail whip close by while he's reading military texts.
The whip. Like a talisman, almost.
Sort of. It shows he's still thinking like a warrior, still on guard. It reveals that conflict inside him, the loyal subject versus the worried father with a gut feeling.
So night falls. Suhu does a patrol around the first watch, checks on Daji.
Finds her and the maids asleep. Peaceful, he feels a bit better, goes back to his reading.
A brief moment of calm. But then...
And then things change. Dramatically.
Around the third watch, this sudden bone-chilling gust of wind sweeps through.
Yeah.
Penetrating the skin, the text says.
Yeah, it blows out the lamps and they flicker back on. Super eerie. Like the atmosphere itself just turned malevolent.
And the description of what comes with the wind. It's intense.
Oh, it's terrifying. It's not a tiger's roar nor a dragon's cry. It's this chilling wind, this cold, evil energy. It hides water demons and mountain spirits.
Eyes like golden lamps in a heavy mist, claws like steel hooks emerging from purple clouds.
Exactly. And its tail sways, its head shakes like a bee, and it's ferocious like a swanee.
Okay, hold on. A bean and a swanee. What are those? What kind of image should we have?
Good question. Think of a being as this powerful, mythical beast, often seen on prison gates, signifies justice, but also immense power, very imposing.
Okay.
And a swanee is another mythical creature, lion-like, known for just raw, untamed strength and ferocity.
So the description is combining
Yeah,
authority and wildness.
pretty much. It's ancient power, untamed might, majestic but terrifying. A force of pure, primal evil.
And then someone screams.
Yes.
Yeah.
A maid cries out, "A demon has come!"
Suhu grabs his whip, his lamp, rushes in.
But bam! That demonic wind hits again, blows out his lamp instantly.
So he's plunged into darkness right at the critical moment.
He has to turn back, rush out to get another light. It seems like such a small thing, right? A delay of maybe seconds.
But it's everything.
It's everything. That tiny interval, that moment he's fumbling for a light, that's the hinge upon which the whole story turns. It's the crack where destiny slips through.
He comes back, finally gets the light working, finds the maids terrified, scattered.
Yes. He goes straight to Daji's bed, pulls back the curtain, asks her, "My dear, did you see anything, that demonic energy?" He's probably expecting tears, fear.
But the Daji who answers,
She's calm.
almost eerily calm. She says she just heard the scream in a dream, saw the light, didn't see any demon. She even thanks him for protecting her.
And Suhu, he buys it.
He's relieved. His daughter seems okay. That's all he wants to hear. He tells her to rest. He has absolutely no idea
No idea that.
that the person he just spoke to isn't Daji. Not anymore. So what happened? In that moment, he was gone.
While he was getting that lamp, the real Daji's soul was, well, the text says it was sucked away. She had died long ago.
Died, just like that.
Instantly. And this 1,000-year-old fox spirit had slipped in and borrowed her body to take form.
Oh my God. So it wasn't a possession. It was a replacement.
Exactly. A complete takeover. The fox spirit needed a vessel to get close to King Zhao to fulfill its own mission of destroying the dynasty. And Daji, she was the perfect disguise.
That's devastating. He's standing right there talking to this creature wearing his daughter's face, and he's just relieved she's okay.
The deception is absolute. And it's chillingly efficient. The real, gentle Daji is gone, vanished, replaced by this ancient evil.
And the text underlines this, doesn't it? Saying, this is heaven's decree, not within human power.
That line is crucial.
But heaven's decree, does that really let everyone off the hook? Or is it more like the storyteller saying, look, this was fated beyond human control?
I think it's core to the novel's philosophy. It suggests these events are part of a much larger cosmic plan, a game being played by higher powers.
So from a human view, it's pure tragedy. But for the narrative, it's destiny.
In a sense, yes. It frames human actions within that preordained path. It maybe lessens individual blame in the grand cosmic scheme, but it really amplifies the sense of inevitable doom for the Shang dynasty. It's that bigger force at work.
There's that poetic summary, too, that just nails the irony. At Enzu Inn, strange wind surprised, Suhu raised whip, lamp extinguished.
The tender beauty is now lost, mistaking a demon for his own daughter.
Gut-wrenching. It happens right under his nose, and he has no clue.
None at all.
In fact, he spends the rest of the night sleepless, but he's worrying about the wrong thing entirely.
Right. He's still fretting about the crime of deceiving the emperor if Daji had actually been harmed by the demon.
He's focused on earthly rules, imperial protocols.
While this massive cosmic deception has just taken place, he completely missed it. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
About what?
Well, how much of our own lives, or even history, might be shaped by things we just don't see, deceptions we're unaware of?
That is a profound thought. We're so caught up in our immediate worries, our duties.
Like Suhu worrying about the emperor's anger, that we miss the deeper currents, the things truly steering the ship. These stories often highlight that veil between what we see and what's really going on.
So the journey continues. But now it's not Daji traveling with him.
No, It's the fox spirit wearing Daji's body. They leave Enzu, cross the Yellow River, finally arrive outside the capital.
And Suhu reports in.
He reports to Wucheng Wang Hongfeihu, a key general. Wang Feihu tells them to camp outside the city walls.
Okay.
But then, and this is crucial, he brings Daji into the city, installs her in the Jinting Inn.
So he unknowingly delivers the instrument of the empire's destruction right to the capital's heart.
Precisely. The fox spirit is now perfectly positioned. The stage is set for the downfall of the Shang dynasty, all because of what happened unseen in that inn.
Marquis Suhu. Now, for anyone listening, a marquis was a big deal, right? A high-ranking regional lord.
Oh yeah, governing a territory for the emperor, but with a fair bit of autonomy.
And Suhu wasn't just any marquis. He'd actually rebelled against King Zhu before. Famously. Our sources say he even wrote a defiant poem right at the Meridian Gate, a very symbolic spot.
A very public spot, a huge statement.
Declaring, never serve Shang again. So you can imagine the tension. This same guy is now heading to the capital, not to fight, but to offer his daughter, Daji, basically as a peace offering, trying to make up for what he did.
What a turnaround. But what's fascinating right away is the corruption layer already simmering underneath. You've got these two powerful, conniving officials, Feizong and Yuhan, and they really resent Suhu.
Why? What was their beef with him?
Simple, really. He hadn't bribed them. The source even tells us their internal thought, chillingly, his life and death are in our hands. So even before Daji arrives, Suhu's fate is being manipulated by these insiders, purely out of petty revenge, not statecraft.
Wow, so his fate is already shaky just because of a missed bribe.
Yeah.
And King Zhu. How's it feeling about Suhu showing up? He can't be pleased.
Pleased, not even close. The king is described as seething, absolutely furious. He remembers the poem, the armed resistance, all of it. His first instinct, Suhu, behead him.
Just like that.
Just like that, to uphold state law. This is a king portrayed as prone to rage, quick to harsh judgment, an iron fist kind of ruler.
Okay, so things look bad for Suhu. This is where the court politics really kick in, isn't it? Who tries to calm the king down?
That falls to Prime Minister Shang Rong. He steps up and reminds the king, look, Western Marquis Ji Chang suggested this route, Suhu offering his daughter for redemption. And he appeals to the king's sense of seat, that great righteousness between ruler and subject.
Ah, so playing on the king's expected role, the moral code.
Exactly. It's not just begging for mercy. It's invoking this core Confucian idea of duty, loyalty, the proper order. He's asking the king to act like a just emperor, not just react emotionally.
Okay, makes sense. But then Feizong, one of those corrupt officials, gets involved again. How does he play this?
Oh, this is where it gets really clever, or maybe sinister. Feizong seems to support the prime minister's plea. He makes it look like he's being reasonable, but then he adds this crucial condition. Daji herself has to be presented to the king.
Uh-oh.
Right. If her beauty is truly extraordinary, Suhu gets pardoned. If not, well, both father and daughter face execution.
That is an incredibly high-stakes gamble. Is Feizong just betting on her looks, or is there something deeper going on? What's his angle here?
That's the key question, isn't it? On the surface, yeah, it's a beauty contest. But remember, Feizong and Yuhan already wanted Suhu gone. This is a crafted trap. If Daji isn't beautiful enough, problem solved, Suhu and Daji are executed, grudge settled.
If she is stunning.
Then, as they probably suspected she would be, they potentially gain influence. Maybe through her, maybe just by distracting the king. Either way, it opens doors for them. And the source's comment here is just, wow. It says, this single word from Feizong would doom the 600-year foundation of the Shang dynasty.
Just one sentence. That's heavy foreshadowing. It's not just about Daji then, but how this one political move, driven by a personal grudge, spirals out of control.
Precisely. It shows Feizong isn't just corrupt, he's a master manipulator. He's playing the king's known weaknesses and the court's instability.
It really highlights that vulnerability in absolute monarchies, doesn't it? How the whole system can be thrown off course by personal vendettas right at the top. The structure concentrates power, but also makes it incredibly susceptible to individual flaws.
Exactly right. And it sets the stage perfectly. Daji's entrance isn't just a beautiful woman arriving. It's like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. The king's flaws, the court's corruption, it's all about to ignite.
So, Feizong's condition is set. The moment of truth arrives. Daji is unveiled. Describe her entrance. It sounds pretty grand.
It is. She's summoned to meet King Zhou. She crosses the Nine-Dragon Bridge, enters the Nine-Hall Palace. These aren't just random places. They symbolize imperial power, majesty. Her arrival is meant to feel significant, imposing even.
And her appearance. The text really goes into detail, I hear.
Oh, it does. It uses some incredibly evocative language. Hair like black clouds, an apricot face, peach cheeks, faint eyebrows like distant mountains, willowy, graceful waist. It's painting this picture of almost unearthly beauty.
Wow, that's poetic, almost divine.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it wasn't just her looks. There was more to her presence.
Yes, exactly. The source emphasizes her aura, her voice, her gaze. Even just her calling out, "Long live the emperor," is described as having this beautiful, harmonious quality. And her eyes hold charming, myriad affections.
So it's the whole package. The vibe, the way she carries herself, her eyes, not just features. Is that what makes her so irresistible? What's the psychological impact the text is trying to get across?
I think that whole package idea is spot on. It's more than just physical beauty. It suggests this almost supernatural charisma and ability to project something that completely disarms people. The text compares her to Bath, a begonia drunk on sunlight, a pear blossom in the rain. Then the ultimate comparison. Like a celestial maiden, like Change, the moon goddess herself.
Okay, so basically comparing her to a goddess.
Pretty much. And the impact on Kingzu is shown as total, a complete sensory and emotional overload. The text isn't just saying he thought she was hot. It's showing a complete shutdown of his rational mind, a total surrender.
It says his whole soul wandering outside heaven, spirit scattered to the 9 heavens. Bones soft, muscles weak, ears hot, eyes twitching. Utterly at a loss. That's not just admiration, that's...
A complete psychological collapse, a physical one almost. He's utterly captivated, can't
It
function.
makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many big historical moments turned on something that personal, that visceral?
Absolutely. The story emphasizes this wasn't a rational choice. It was an involuntary reaction. His senses, his will hijacked by her presence.
And the consequences. They hit fast, right? What happens to Suhu, the guy who was about to lose his head?
His fortunes flip instantly. It's incredible. Kingzu pardons him, his whole family, restores his office, gives him the title Royal Relative. That's huge.
Royal relative from condemned rebel.
Exactly. And a massive salary increase. 2,000 pickles monthly. That's an enormous amount of wealth and status. Plus a 3-day banquet in his honor and high-ranking officials assigned to escort him home. It's a stunning reversal.
Just shows the king's absolute power, I guess. If he likes your daughter that much. But okay, Suhu's suddenly on top of the world.
Mm-hmm.
How are the other officials reacting? The ones who were already unhappy?
The source is clear. Shisha, the officials were deeply displeased by the emperor's obsession. They see it. They don't like it. But crucially, they feel powerless to object.
And that powerlessness, that silence, is where the real danger lies for the empire.
Precisely. Their inability to challenge the king's infatuation leads directly to the bigger problem, the swift decline of everything. That silent disapproval shows how concentrated power was. If the emperor goes off the rails, there's nothing to stop it.
And he goes off the rails immediately. That very night, the source says he and Daji, Xiyuzhao, became like Phoenix and Dragon. Aimee!
Yeah.
Their love like glue, and from then on.
It's constant feasting, constant revelry, day and night. The king is completely consumed. Duties forgotten.
So the government just stops.
Pretty much grinds to a halt. Government affairs neglected, official documents all mixed up. Kingzu ignores all petitions, treats them like child's play. He just doesn't care. It's an immediate paralysis.
The scale of it is shocking. 2 months without holding court, and petitions from the street. All 800 marquises across the empire, just piling up like mountains.
Unanswered. Ignored. The message couldn't be clearer. The world was teetering on the brink of chaos, all triggered by one woman's arrival and the king's complete loss of control.